Good evening, Pittsburgh sports fans. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. Joining me are my panel of co-hosts, Tracy, Edward, and Mac. How's it going, guys?
Hi, Bill. Hi, Mac.
Hi.
Fantastic.
All right, guys. Well, the draft is over. Want to get into your what you thought. Little bit early edition. Those out there listening. We decided to move it up to 6 because the puck drops at 7:30, and we want to, we want to preview the game, but we also want to be off the air and watch it, as I'm sure most of you do as well. So we decided to move it up a couple hours tonight. But we want to get into the draft, get your guys' takes on the picks, what you liked, what you didn't like. Obviously, it's going to preview Game 6. Do or die tonight. I mean, this is it. You got to get this job done to force a Game 7. Hopefully that happens. We'll talk about that, and then talk a little bit about the Pirates. Riverhounds have a game against Phoenix Rising on Saturday. We'll touch a little bit on that, but without further ado, guys, draft is done. What did you like? What did you dislike? Trace, I'm going to start off with you, my man.
All right, Billy. I liked it when you said you were going to go get my man's jersey, right?
Yeah, I'm serious about that, too.
I'm built for this with this dude, man. I think he's playing guard for us here. You know what I'm saying? Like, woo! You know what I mean? Don't tell my heart. My head get breaking heart. Remember that shit, Mac?
Yeah.
So,
I do.
I think that's where we're going with it. I did not like the first pick.
Love it.
I did not like how it all went down.
Yeah.
I did not mind the picks thereafter, though.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say?
Well, Mac, what did you think?
Well, first of all, I would like to request that Tracy wear that every single show from this point forward.
I know. It's awesome. I love it. I really like it.
The mauler with the mullet. I love it. I'll start out. Round 1, I hated it. You got the draft in your city, and you prepped for absolutely nothing. Your first round pick, you wasted, in my opinion. This kid has a lot of promise, from what I understand. I know nothing about him because he wasn't on the top 100 in the whole draft, and that's how you started your draft in your hometown. So I'm going to grade round 1 a big fat F. Because they failed, period. End of discussion. I don't understand how. I don't understand why. The rest of the draft I'm okay with, and we can get into the eaches going down the list. But I thought we started out about as weak as you can for a hosting city. Ed, I know I stole your thunder, but I apologize.
No, I mean, I 100% agree. You can't call yourself an organization with that first round debacle. You just can't. That was one of the most embarrassing moments I think I've seen in the history of the draft, honestly. You're on the phone with somebody who's being drafted by another team, and you pick whatever analogy you want, whatever.
History of the draft. I mean, going back 70 years, 70, 80 years.
Yes. The only other mess up, and it really wasn't a mess up, is 2 consecutive years where Detroit was late with their pick, but they still got the person they wanted.
That opened an
embarrassment. There was no other embarrassment in the draft as bad as that. I mean, there's been bad players taken. I mean, to Mac's point, in the top 100, project at best. I knew who he was only because I was watching the wide receiver from there, and I noticed that they had somebody else draftable. After that, they just – I mean, you go in with 12. They came out with 10 players. If you think 10 players are going to make the team, tell me out of the 53 which 10 aren't going to be on the next year. They wasted a golden opportunity. They could have danced around. Plenty of people wanted to trade back. Plenty. We set the over under to 3 for drafts. Plenty of people wanted to dance. They didn't want to. You traded up marginally for Drew Alar, which was a waste because he would have been there at 99. You know, they weren't prepared, like Max said. They were completely unprepared for the draft, and they really had nothing to do with it. And hats off to Pittsburgh for setting the record at 805 and coming up with a unique way to make it not as crowded as it was actually in reality, because there was 360,000 there the first night. And people were able to move to that in 3 locations. So hats off to the city. Our criticism was not based totally in reality. because we didn't know all the factors involved. We didn't know they were going to open the stadium. We didn't know they were going to use Point Park. So, shame on us for not knowing all of the details and just bitching and complaining about it. But the city did an excellent job. It showed itself off. It's just the football team didn't fall in line. They were just not. They were epically unprepared. It's just an embarrassment. It truly is. I mean, not in your top 100, and he goes at 21. That's an embarrassment. There's no other way to sum it. The kid, everybody, I like the kid from Alabama because he has some traits that you lost in Gainwell. He's a returner. He's a he's a returner.
You know who he looks like? You look like a member of the wrestling team, the Freebirds. You look like you could fit right in with them. I clearly remember one of the guys having a red mullet, and he was bearded, and you could fit. You look like one of the Freebirds.
He looks like a Mog. He's a man and a dog. He's his own best
You know,
friend.
I have that. I have that costume.
I know. But getting back to the Steelers, I like their second round pick because it's a guy that has some return ability and some running ability out of the backfield. The other ones, as you go further, the way they tell you the draft, first round, you don't have hardly any holes in your game. Second round, you have issues. Third round, you have issues, and so on and so on and so on. Right? So you took 10 players. God knows why. No idea. You could have maneuvered and because there were so many trades in all the other rounds as well. No idea why they didn't decide to move around. Max point is the most salient point of the night. They're just unprepared. They look bad as an organization.
It showed. Them first couple rounds, it showed. But
City did well though.
I'm not disappointed in the pick, even though I'm disappointed in how it went down and when he got picked. I think this guy has some good footwork and some good handwork, Billy.
Tracy wasn't in the top 100, so that means
I don't care.
Most of the NFL said he's not.
Okay, he's going to be better than Jones was, and he has some potential.
Well, that's not saying much because Jones, it's like a piece of dental floss on the floor. That's
all right,
how
Jones was able to hold up and play last year for us.
Everybody loves the hair, Trace. I think you got to keep it.
Yeah, Robin loves it. Look at that.
Yeah. Hey, to go back into this, guys, this Mad Max did everything that I say his nickname is B. We should all be mad at this. I don't understand how you pick a guy 21st. Now, mind you, this is a project guy. This is an experiment guy. Yes. This is somebody that you got to gamble and teach this guy. You don't do that with pick 21. And when you got an edge point, when you got 12 picks, you package up 2 or 3 of them and you go up to like 5 and you get the guy that you want. That's what you do. Yes. That's what you do.
Any other team would have done it at your home. I thought for sure they were going to put, like Max said, 4 or 5 of them together and be in the top 10 and get whoever they want. I thought for sure they would go. And that crowd would have gone crazy. It
went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving and shaking right there live.
And what happened was they made the pick, and I've never seen so many people leave in my life. Max said they left because they were all jumping in the river. But
yeah,
I'm not sure. That was one of the worst picks I've ever seen. It really, truly was. And to Trace's point, it'll take a couple years. Maybe you'll get something out of it, but it's not a guy you take in the first round, 21.
Yeah, I'm not pounding on the guy either.
No, I agree.
I'm not. Maybe he is going to be something. You're right, Trace. They said, I listen to everybody with his footwork and the upside on this guy. I'm not saying he doesn't have it, but you could have got this guy 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round.
Easily 4th round.
Yes.
Yeah. So you wasted your 21st overall pick in front of your hometown. I didn't get it.
And if that's a tackle we wanted, they could have traded up and got the middle linebacker I've been complaining about. They could have got the defensive lineman to set the tone in the middle of the defense, right?
Trace, they had enough firepower to get in the top 10.
Wasted potential. You see the hair movement? It was like this, and it was nothing. There was nothing there.
I agree.
This might be your best show ever, Trace.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. We need.
Well, you guys are doing it before I go to bed.
Sammy hasn't chimed in. I don't know why he hasn't chimed in, but maybe he's not watching right now. But I know he's probably loving it. So, all right, can I talk now?
Sorry, Billy.
No,
wait.
I was just.
Sammy might be in. Sammy might have his hands. He might be doing something. I don't know, but go ahead. That's Tracy's man crush.
Oh.
So we'll see.
Okay. Go ahead, guy. I mean, you guys want to keep talking? Go ahead.
No, William, start.
No. I'm not trying to be smart or anything. I'm just saying.
I mean, we can make a lot of points. There's
right. But let's get on your list.
There's
Billy.
10 guys they picked, so we can talk all of them if you want.
That's right, Billy.
Yeah, it totally doesn't matter. I mean, it's up to you guys.
All right, your thoughts really on the first round? Go.
I thought it was terrible. I mean, I thought I thought, and I agree with you, it was embarrassing. It was like, I don't know, like like you had a preschooler picking for you. It was bad. It was terrible. I'm sorry, Trace. I really don't agree with you. I think this Inhinachor, however you pronounce his name.
Anchor. His name's going to be Anchor. He's going to be a Yinzer.
He's played 5 years. He's played football for 5 years. Footwork or not, I mean, lots of people have great footwork. I mean, that's only part of what you need to be a successful offensive lineman. He wasn't in anybody's radar. He wasn't in the top 100. If the Steelers wouldn't have picked him at 21, more than likely he would have been. He would have probably been in the 3rd or 4th round. Easily. Maybe not even drafted. I'm gonna go as far as to say that maybe not even drafted. Maybe picked way down, like one of the last picks. He's everybody who knows anything about football has labeled him a project. Flat out has labeled him a project. I don't understand why they did what they did. I have no clue why you would go there. It was like they were banking on everything with Mekhi Lemon, and then they just said, we're good. This is our pick. We got him. And, you didn't get him. He was taken right out from under you. And it was like they had no backup plan. Like literally they had no backup plan. Like literally, I think they took a dart and just threw it at the chart and up him. Okay. A guy that we didn't even have on the radar, but the dart landed there.
Well,
so we yelled
a name. Somebody yelled a name out, Billy. That's what it was.
It was just. I was beside myself. I literally. I didn't even know who the guy was. I mean, I did hear his name early in the season, when, in college football. I mean, I did hear his name a couple times when I watched Arizona State. But like literally, I was just flabbergasted, just floored. Just could not believe this pick. Just it couldn't have been a worse pick. I mean, they'd been better served to take a punter or a freaking long snapper. I mean, I just was like, wow. Everybody views him as a developmental project. Yeah, he has elite athleticism, what they say, 6'6" frame. But this is just not. I don't know. Just not what I thought that they would do.
You know what, Bill? It's okay to be smart, right? It's okay to be smart. But if this guy pans out and you were smart, could you have been smart and got him in the 3rd round?
Yep.
Absolutely. Yes. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, you could have done that.
Yeah.
Not even, I mean, you could have, yeah. I mean, you could have gotten him in late in the 3rd round. And I just...
Wow.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Me neither.
I literally don't understand it. And, I mean, Ed, you said you like the other Bernard. I don't. I don't. I don't like him.
Like him.
I didn't. I don't. He doesn't do anything for me. I mean,
he's what, 6'2", 6'3" possession guy, right?
Yeah.
He's 6 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot.
He's only 6 foot.
Yeah.
I know he's a possession guy.
I mean, a return guy. I mean, okay, so you're gonna, he's a return guy. I thought there was better guys available that they could have gotten. I thought there was better guys. I mean, I don't know, return guys. I mean, that's what they're talking about. Oh, he's a good return guy.
Well, I don't know what we're doing, but
I'm a mog.
We're doing either.
Eddie called me a mog earlier. I found a picture of me being a mog.
There you go.
Me being a mog for Halloween.
I mean, if you look at the rounds, right? They chose Anchor, right? They passed up on Akeem Mesdor,
right?
Malachi Lawrence, Casey Concepcion, Dylan Field,
right? Keep going.
Caleb Lemieux, who I would have taken as a tackle. He's huge and great. Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver, really good wide receiver. Kedrick Falk out of Auburn. I mean, you just keep going down and down. And in the 2nd round, with their brilliant pick in the 2nd round, which was Billy doesn't like. I mean, they passed up on a ton of players.
Ton of players.
I just
Ton of players. I mean, they took a guy that had mid-level grades by every expert. Mid-level grades by every expert. And their only comeback was, well, he's a good return guy. Listen, I mean, you could set the guys in the room and you can say, hey, who wants to be a return guy? You're probably going to get 12 guys raise their hand, right?
Oh yeah.
Punt returns, you probably get 2 guys that raise their hand, right? Because it's a lot harder to be a punt returner. But I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, what is this? 1975? I mean, I didn't understand what. They
weren't ready for the draft for whatever reason.
No, they were not ready for the draft at all. I mean, at all.
Ill-prepared is the words I would use.
It was embarrassing.
I would like to jump in on Ed's point with Bernard. I'm not as down on him as you are, Bill.
Well, I'm not. I'm not necessarily down on him, Mac. All I'm saying is you had about probably 10 guys that were better than him, but you chose him. I don't understand.
Well,
I mean, there was guys
I don't think so.
Better.
Keep in mind, they picked this number 47, Bill. There weren't 10 guys that were better than Bernard, at that particular time. So, I mean, I'm not saying this kid,
there were guys,
a top.
Maybe not 10, but there was a handful of guys that were better options.
I don't know. You got to go get a route guy. You got to go get a guy that could potentially run slot for you. This guy's a 6-foot guy. He's small. He's 205. He's a little. His claim to fame is he runs routes just about as good as anyone in the draft as a receiver. We don't have one of them guys, so I'm okay with Bernard. I really am. I wish we would have got. I wish we would have got Lamone, and we didn't. But it is what it is. When you get smacked in the mouth and Philly takes your pick, that's what happened. We had to go get another guy that could run slot. And so I'm okay with going and getting a guy that you missed out on. He's not as good as Lemon, or Lemon or whatever we're calling him, but Bernard's a decent route runner, and I think he can fill the slot role. I really do.
6-7-1 3 cone drill. That's the difference in one of those guys. That and the slot corner. That's where you got to find what those guys can do is in that cone drill.
Yeah.
I like Jennings Dunker. I like him. I mean, any lineman that comes from Iowa, they teach him to push, right? They teach him to push. They don't. A lot of Iowa linemen don't get a lot of holding calls because they develop them the right way. Like I said, they teach them to push instead of holding, and so I think he's going to be good. I think he's
one of the best things I've seen on him so far, Billy, just in his tape is even as he's pass blocking, he sits down properly. His back is flat. His arms are out. He's extended, and I think he's going to be really good for us.
But easy with the love affair.
Great posture. He had great posture there.
Where was he taken? He was taken in the 3rd round. 3rd round.
So what?
Okay, so we're not talking about a first-round talent here. We're talking about
a first-round talent.
Well, he had to play guard. Here's the thing: is he had a better grade than Ian Nacho.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly. That should tell you all you need to know about the draft.
Taking the mullet in the 1st round and taking
correct. And I would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
If they would have taken him at 21, I would have been fine with that. I would have applauded it because, like you said, he has a better grade than Inature or
thing the mullet either way.
Yeah,
just for the record,
I agree. I mean, that should tell you all you need to know. Hey, Michael, hope you're doing good there across the pond there, brother. So, no, I mean, I just, I don't know. This was a draft that was hard to watch.
It was.
I would say about the Dunker guy, I think the biggest thing that I could say about him, and I've seen a little bit of the film on him, is that I very rarely see a guy that plays in that kind of position that plays real angry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he looks like he plays with this, I don't know, this intense,
and like I said,
anger, and it's quite refreshing to see. Normally, you don't get that. Normally, that's the defensive side of the line where you get that, that punch like that. But we'll see.
And I'm not just pulling out that Iowa guards, are taught the way. I'm not just pulling that out my ass. That's actually that's actually, Ed, you can vouch for that, right? I mean, they teach him to push. I mean, that was one of the things that
Brandon Sheriff was in the league for 14 years.
Right. They teach him to push. They don't teach him. They don't, generally Iowa, linemen coming out of the draft that don't get, they're not known for holding. So,
Right.
Like I said, I'm not pulling that out my ass and just,
Right.
I don't know much about
it's an
Iowa,
actual
gentlemen,
fact.
but I do like
So-
corn.
They're corn fed. They're meat eaters.
Yeah,
I love
they're
it. It's
good.
delicious.
Yeah. But he could have been taken in the first
Yeah.
round, and I don't think there would have been the uproar. I just think that for how well the city showed itself, to have the team just absolutely shit the bed, it was borderline comical. And you're right, Bill. It was hard to watch because they had all those picks. I couldn't understand why.
Right.
It was embarrassing. This is your draft, and that's the plan you had. I mean, I said it before. I last night I gave him a C-. I thought, I slept another night on it. I think I'm more inclined to give him a D+. I really am. I thought it was that bad. I thought it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
You mean
Underwhelming.
for the first pick?
Overall,
Oh, wow.
I would give him a C-, D+.
Oof.
So
I mean, that's
I didn't think it was.
I think we
Everyone
filled
else
some
is doing
spots, though, Billy. I mean,
Huh?
some of these guys are going to put some work in for us this year.
Well, Trace, you know what? 38% of draft picks sign a second deal. I'd like to put that on a shirt and walk around drafts, because it's the truth. I mean, it's flip a coin.
Bruce.
I think it's flip a coin on 38% of these guys
Right.
sign a second deal. So it's that's why I don't jump up and down and get all excited about the draft. I just don't.
We talked about it. We talked about it pre-draft. We said if they come out with 10 players, it's going to be, or 10 or 12 players, it's going to be a bad draft. If I were the Steelers, I would have rather have come out with 5 players, knowing that 4 of them are going to be impact players, right?
Right
As
now.
opposed to 10. Like, why? I mean, why 10? I mean,
It's
they're
just-
not going to make a team.
All right, we didn't talk really about this pick, but round 3, Drew Aller. I mean, I'm going to say this. I thought, I'll tell you one thing. One thing that I noticed about him last year playing Oregon, man, he's very good in the pocket because of his size. He reminds you a lot of Big Ben, who can stand in there and make throws, and can basically take hits and things like that, and can sometimes still stand in there and deliver a throw downfield. I thought it was a polarizing selection, if you ask me. Like I said, prototypical size, arm strength. But guys, can we agree that he's far from a finished product at this point in time?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some people have, some of these experts have even, they view him as a potential mistake. I don't know. I mean, I know one thing that, last year you didn't really get a very good view on him, I think, because of I think he was handcuffed by Franklin in that offense. I mean, I think in a lot of aspects he was kind of handcuffed. But I don't know. And that whole debacle at Penn State, everybody's going to link him to that. Everybody's going to link him to that. Not to say that that's but I mean, it's just I don't know. What did you guys think? What's your take on Aller?
We'll see.
I'll
Like,
jump in.
Saying,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt. Do it.
Go ahead. Sorry, Trace.
Nope. Go, Matt. You.
No, well, so I'll say this: as much as I'm down on the Steelers for starting his draft out with that first round pick, I'm going to go say in the next 6 picks, I'm happy with them. I'd grade them a good B plus, and I could go down and name each one of them. And Ed, you better take a drink because you're choking on something. It ain't my words. But anyway, let's move on. I already talked about Bernard. Thank you. I hope it saved you. But anyway, Bernard, we talked about Bernard. I like Bernard pick. And Drew Aller, let's face it, he has tools. He's big. He's got a strong arm. You got Mike McCarthy there that's supposed to be this quarterback developing guy, all right? And everyone on the planet Everyone on the planet says he can develop. I mean, all he did was coach Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, two of the Hall of Fame guys, best in the league ever, right? I mean, why?
Well, and let's go back farther too. He was there in Kansas City with Marty Schottenheimer during the brief stint with Joe Montana. So,
well, again, if he's that good, we got a guy that everyone on the planet will say has the tools to be awesome. Has he inconsistent? Has he disappointed? Absolutely. But if you can develop the guy, boy, big, strong arm, can make any throw on the field at any time.
I'm not saying that he's going to be a bust or anything like that. I'm interested to see what happens this preseason. Oh, yeah, he could be. I'm not saying that he will be. I'm not saying he won't be. I don't know. I don't know yet. I didn't see him last year. He was hurt. I thought he was handcuffed in that offense. I mean, Franklin handcuffed him in that offense. He wasn't able to live up to his true potential, in my opinion.
I agree.
And I think that there's, like, when I look at him, question mark, right? Question mark.
It's fair.
Potential. I want to see what he does in preseason. I want to see what he does in camp.
But at pick 76, it's not a bad gamble.
It's not a bad gamble at all. I mean, you got a quarterback that I think is decent.
He's got better upside than Will Howard.
I think he does. I think he does. I tend to kind of agree with you on that.
Yeah.
One. And from what all the experts are saying, a lot of them say that. So, but I want to see what he does. I want to see.
They both do.
Well, yeah. I mean, like they were just talking about today. Like, Aaron Rodgers signs whatever. He's not going to play in preseason. He's not going to do. He acts like he's a part-time, NFL player. He's a part-timer. He's not a full-time football player in his mind. So. I think you give maybe Mason Rudolph maybe 2 or 3 series in the entire preseason, right? And I think you give you have Allar in there and you have Drew Howard and you may the best man win. Those guys just slug it out and see which one's going to be on the practice squad and which one's not going to be on the practice squad. But I really think Mason Rudolph's a vet. I don't even think you need to give him many, give him a couple series, 2-3 series, maybe have him play an entire half, start him, out halftime. Okay. Maybe you'll get one more series and that's it, but, and I just think that the entire preseason needs to be the Allar and Howard show. It needs to, that's what it needs to be. I don't know, guys. I mean, some of these other guys, Everett, the cornerback, did you like that? Did you like that pick? Did you like Rubio, the defensive tackle?
So Rubio I did like, but he was injured.
Yep.
His old man was a Steeler. Hold on, Eddie, 97 maybe? Was he picked in round 6 or 7? Rubio? Yeah. That sound right?
Yeah.
Let me look that up.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like you're very confident. Yeah,
no, he was a Steeler, 100%. Yeah, he had a cup of coffee with the Steelers. With Drew Allar, I mean, come on. Honestly, there's just not really good quarterbacks right now. Next year's quarterback class isn't any better. I looked at it hard today. It's not any better. There's just not a lot of quarterbacks. Allar has the worst thing you could ever have as a player. He has the big P, and that's potential. I mean, they don't have anybody that's going to develop a quarterback. For shit and giggles, there's no frigging way that McCarthy developed anything in Brett Favre. Nothing at all did he develop. Zero. He had no impact on that guy's career. Zero.
Well, he started coaching the Packers in 06.
Zero. He had on his zero. Favre came in the league in 91.
I disagree with you. He did a lot for Dak Prescott.
We got a pirate thing.
And what did that get them? Nothing.
Well, he still did a lot for Dak Prescott.
Nothing. They don't have a quarterback like that in Pittsburgh. And he did nothing for Brett Favre's career. I hate to tell you guys. Brett Favre was already
he was in 06. He was in the tail end of his career. He didn't
do shit for him.
Okay, so what are you getting at? What are you getting at?
He doesn't develop quarterbacks.
You don't think he did it? He didn't help Rodgers.
He developed quarterbacks. You suck. The team sucks. They can't develop shit. You know what they developed? Bad fucking drafts. They can't develop anything. They need somebody in there who can develop a quarterback. It doesn't matter.
You're saying he did nothing for Rodgers at all. Nothing. You're saying he took over in 06 and coached in 2018.
Rodgers' arm was touched by God. He has a golden arm, and he went to freaking Cal, one of the toughest educational schools.
It's funny how you say that, but yet you don't think
they won a Super Bowl is because they played the freaking Steelers. It sucked.
And it's funny how you say that. It's funny how you say that now. But yet you're not in favor of them bringing him back. You're not in favor. You don't look at last year that he did anything.
43.
You don't look. You overlook that he threw 24 touchdown passes and threw for over 3,000 yards. But you don't think McCarthy had anything to do with the development of Aaron Rodgers from 06 to 2018. He did nothing to develop him. Did nothing to help Dak Prescott along.
I'm not a McCarthy fan. Sorry, I hate to tell you that. He's just about average.
So you think he's on the same level as Tomlin in terms in Tomlin's regime of development and quarterbacks?
Well, we'll see. Time will tell.
We will see. And
can't make that statement. He had no impact. He didn't draft Dak. He didn't draft Dak.
I tell you what, McCarthy's resume is pretty impressive. It's pretty damn impressive. You go from the University of Pitt from 89 to 92 as a quarterbacks coach. You go from there to Marty Schottenheimer in Kansas City from 93 to 98. Then you go and where did he go right after that? He went to New Orleans for a little while. And then he was with the San Francisco 49ers in 05 and then went right to as head coach of the Packers from 2006 to 2018, won a Super Bowl. Goes to Dallas. A lot of people said he was the reason, that year that they made the playoffs against the Bucks. He was one of they said that it was McCarthy that really kind of helped Dak Prescott a little bit. Now since then, and that's all that since McCarthy's left. Dak Prescott's play has fallen off. And he's gotten older too, but I disagree with you.
He was injured.
I think he's
Hey, just FYI, I do like Dalen Everett, our fourth pick, guys.
Thank you, Mac. Me too. The Georgia cornerback. I actually do like him.
I said he's an SEC
guy.
He's
an SEC guy. He's a 4-year starter. He started, 50, 60 games. Every game he started. All SEC.
Drafted in the fourth
second
round.
team. Yeah, but he's a solid guy. Solid player. He's on the fourth round. What are you going to get, Ed?
I'm just telling you guys, you need a team that's able to develop talent. That's not something the Steelers have done. They did it. They picked smartly in the 70s and created an incredible team. First team to scout the historically black colleges. First team to draft almost exclusively from there. They had a great coach in Chuck Noll. I don't think that much of Tomlin. I don't think that much of McCarthy. I really don't. And forget the fact, if any one of us made it in the NFL as a coach,
I think he's better at developing than
our asses would be recycled to every team, because that's what the NFL does. If you get in and have the very little success, you're recycled everywhere. We can name the coaches. Hell, Salah got another job as a head coach for God's sake.
Yeah, but everybody that comes out of Virginia seems to demonstrate they have no idea what they're doing with the football.
And then they go to Virginia, and then they see a football, and they actually think it's a rugby ball.
Come on, man. You're better than that. You got to get stronger at these cuts, Tracy. Come on.
Nope.
I just don't think anything of McCarthy. Come on. What is he going to do? What is he going to make Rodgers be not 43 and not old? No. He's going to. Rodgers can't move around. He just can't.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Nobody. Jesus couldn't help him at this point in time.
I agree.
Is that herbal essence, Trace?
It is.
You talk to any expert, and they'll tell you flat out that McCarthy was responsible. They said widely responsible for refining Rodgers' mechanics, his footwork. Early in his career, that made him into a 4-time MVP. Now, that's not that's not me pulling that out my ass.
You can talk him up. I'm just not a fan of McCarthy. I'm just not.
Dak Prescott, some of his most efficient seasons were under McCarthy. That's fact. That's fact. He had his highest passing yardage under McCarthy. That's fact. Okay. Aaron Brooks with the Saints, you could even say that. He helped transform Brooks into a consistent starter. He was not a starter when he went before McCarthy. Aaron Brooks had 16 game winning comebacks,
Right.
and they say a lot of it was because of McCarthy. They said he helped transform Brooks into a consistent starter when he was with the Saints from 2000 to 04.
And who do the Steelers have? Mason Rudolph, Drew Lar, and some other kid. None of those players are anywhere near the athletes that the other ones are. None of them at all.
But okay, but your point was that you don't think that he develops guys. Is what you're saying? You don't think? And I just gave you a bunch of examples how he has, and yet you can't rebuttal anything that I'm saying.
Yes, I
you
can.
can't. Okay, well, let's hear it. Let's hear it with Rodgers. Let's fucking hear it with Rodgers. Tell me what he did. Tell me what he did.
He didn't do shit. Arm touched by God. He didn't do
bullshit.
Shit.
You're so full of shit. You're so full of
You think
shit.
he's going to take Drew Lar, make him into a starter? That's fucking horseshit. You think he's going to do anything to Mason Rudolph?
And Dak Prescott had his best stats and his best
career. Do anything with Rodgers?
See, this is what you do. This is
you know what? Quarterback. You have no quarterback. Period.
This is what you do.
Period. No
Whenever.
No, I don't give a shit about the stats.
Like the Beastie Boys.
What does it mean?
You
what
better cut that hair.
You don't have a quarterback like that in Pittsburgh. The stats are irrelevant. You don't.
This
have
is
an
what you
like
do. This is what you do.
It's a fact.
You're well known. You're well known for doing this.
Fact.
When you can't.
We do facts. No, I'm telling you facts. You don't have an athlete like the three you mentioned in Pittsburgh. You just don't. That is a fact. So I don't care who you bring in. You can make Jesus the coach.
So Aaron Brooks is better. He's a better athlete than he's a better quarterback than Drew Allar, Will Howard, Mason Rudolph.
Yes,
Aaron Brooks.
He proved it.
Okay,
he proved it obviously because he started for years. None of those guys have started. How many starts do you have with those guys? You have 8, I think. How many does he have? 8 or 10?
Well,
Rudolph?
2 of them are rookies, Ed. That's not fair to say.
One is not a rookie. One's a second guy, and he's not going to play.
Okay.
You don't have those athletes. You can tell me anybody you want. You can bring in Bo Jackson and say,
one guy's incapable of starting, Ed.
No, sorry. I just disagree. You can
inexcusable.
I just disagree. The fact is he had athletes. You don't have those athletes at that position in Pittsburgh. You just don't.
Is there a reason you don't have a W-2, sir? I haven't worked.
So it's athletes. It's not that it's not the fact that he doesn't. It's not the fact that he can't develop quarterbacks. Yeah. It's that he has no athletes.
Give me a Ferrari, I'll make sure I put the correct gas in it. Okay.
See, this is what you do.
It doesn't matter if I put 93 in. It's still a Yugo.
You don't follow him down the rabbit hole, Billy.
You don't.
This is what you do.
You don't have the athlete at the quarterback position. You just don't.
Goalposts are going like this.
You don't have the athlete at the quarterback. You just don't have it. You don't.
Hey, how about Peyton Wetchen? Let's talk about him.
I do not hate that pick.
Oh, come on. You guys.
What?
Chicken shits. You don't have a quarterback.
Everyone, listen, every guy on the planet said he's the best return guy in the game.
Yeah, he's an H-back, man. He got it.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what you do. Whenever you start,
you have the athlete
see, now I'm not. See, this is
you don't have the athlete quarterback,
folks. This is what he does. Whenever you put this out there, and you line up everything, and you put it, you back with factual information. What he does is he raises his voice and he'll talk continuously so you don't get anything in. So you can't rebuttal in. And he raises his voice, and this is what he does, folks. This is what he does. I mean, you guys should be used to this by now because that's what he does. Right. There you go. There you go. No, see, that's not true because I put factual information out there, and you still saying McCarthy can't develop a quarterback. You think that he's on the same level as Tomlin. You think he's really on the same level as Tomlin. You think he's really on the same level as Tomlin. You think
it has almost the exact same record, dude. It's the exact same person, except Tomlin has one more Super Bowl loss.
Tell me who Tomlin ever developed as quarterback-wise.
He didn't.
Okay. All right. And so I just laid it out to you, the guys that he's developed, and you still disagree with me.
Who is your quarterback that's going to start? Who's starting in September?
We're not talking. I'm talking about his ability to develop. I think he can develop guys.
Okay.
I think he can.
Time is going to tell.
Well, time will tell.
Conjecture.
Yeah.
Conjecture.
Time will tell.
An elite athlete, and I took an elite athlete like Aaron Rodgers, and I told him to point his right foot forward as opposed to sideways. Woo! I mean, the guy's still a phenomenal athlete. What the hell does it matter?
So you're saying,
what do you think Tomlin was doing with Hall of Famer?
So you're saying if Rich Kotite coached the Packers, Aaron Rodgers still would have been a 4-time MVP. If Rich Kotite came back and coached from 06 to 18, Aaron Rodgers would have still been the quarterback he was. That's what you're saying.
Give me the worst quarterback. Give me the worst coach in the league. Aaron Rodgers is an athlete. He's an incredible athlete. He's going to succeed. Period.
Dak Prescott had his best stats under McCarthy, but he doesn't know how to develop quarterbacks. He doesn't know how to develop quarterbacks.
Was Dak a bad quarterback before McCarthy?
Aaron was never a starter. Never even considered a starter. McCarthy made him a starter. Right? He didn't know how to develop quarterbacks, folks.
Because Favre was how old?
How old was Favre? He can't do it.
Favre was 65 years old. He was collecting Social Security. Same thing happened with Rodgers right now. He's not going to develop anybody. Sorry, because you don't have those athletes. You're talking about elite athletes, Billy. You don't have them in Pittsburgh at the quarterback. Do you think Tomlin did anything for Hall of Famer TJ Watt's game? No, he didn't do a damn thing. TJ Watt is an incredible athlete.
I know he didn't. I never was a fan of Tomlin.
He's not going to do anything unless you get an athlete. You go and get a prime time. You go get Patrick Mahomes and you bring him to Pittsburgh in his prime. Sure, McCarthy's going to have success with him, no doubt. But he's not going to have success in Pittsburgh because you don't have a quarterback. That's the point. He's not going to develop Drew Allard into a 5-time, even a 2-time Pro Bowler. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it with the other kid. Howard's not that good. And we know what Mason Rudolph is. So I disagree. That's all. And I like that I disagree.
I mean, I put some facts out there, and you didn't really have much of a rebuttal.
My fact is, was Aaron Rodgers a phenomenal athlete? Was he? That's a fact. Phenomenal athlete, first round.
Yeah, he was.
Okay,
but you don't think that you don't think. Well, let me ask you this: when you looked at him at a Cal, he was not even considered. He was holding the ball like this most of the time. He went. McCarthy changed a lot of things with Rodgers.
He was invited to the draft as a first-round pick. That's why he came.
And even Rodgers has said as much that with McCarthy over the years helped him hone his craft. He said it. You can look it up.
And if you think Rodgers was Mason Rudolph, the same thing would happen. It's the exact same argument you gave me. I'll give you the same one. If he had Mason Rudolph at Green Bay after Favre, you think they'd be any good? No, because he's not an elite athlete. Sorry, he's just not. He's taken a number 1 pick and made him better. Woo! It's not
my argument. He can develop quarterbacks. That's all my argument is. That's all my argument was.
He developed,
and I gave you examples, and you didn't really do a good job rebutting. So. All right, let's move on. Your grades.
We'll invite the other two into the argument.
Yeah, your grades, Tracy, draft grade.
After the first round, I'd say it's probably B-.
Mac.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Trace. I'm going B-. I like the rest of the draft. 2 through 8. I'm okay with 2 through 7, 2 through 8.
Yeah. Ed F. I know that. I said C-.
I said C+. I said it a long time ago. The C+. They tried the entire draft to wipe the egg off their face off the first round. Had they done a first round pick better, they'd probably get a B or B- or A-. I don't know, but that first round pick was god awful.
All right, let's focus. Let's talk. We got about 17 minutes here. Let's talk some Penguins here. Penguins Flyers game 6.
Hey, I'd like to throw one thing in there, Bill.
Go ahead.
Didn't get a chance to talk. We didn't get a chance to talk Rylan Nowakowski, the kid from Indiana, that tight end. I think that kid has a lot of talent. He plays really strong, really hard. And they're talking about putting him as maybe like an H-back, fullback kind of guy. Big-time player. Big-time player. Watch him. I really like that pick. I think they stole him at 180 or whatever the hell he was.
At 180?
Boy, geez. Guy, let's notice a trend here. Andrew Ferguson, you'd never know you're a Tennessee fan, ever. You would never know that. You would never know it.
There's a good quarterback, though.
Bill Big Ben is the best QB for the Steelers, and Ren Bradshaw can do. I agree. Totally agree with that. Very, very good.
I think talent-wise in the eye test, but I still think that Bradshaw takes the crown no matter what, hands down, because he never lost a big one, and he won 4 of them.
100% agree. 4-0.
Doesn't matter. Big Ben's the guy. I'm with you, Bill.
I'm like, I saw what you saw. I saw what both you saw.
Eye test is there.
Yeah.
Hardware means it. I agree with you on the comment, but
Yeah.
eye test doesn't lie.
Yeah.
You could tell me she looks awesome, but if I see it, I know it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you get a good look at a steak if you stick your head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather get the butcher's word for it, you know?
Take the butcher's
Very
word at
true.
all times.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk Penguins here. What did what'd you guys think about them getting back in this series? I mean, my gosh. Winning
Flyers
Saturday.
Deep
Yeah,
hole.
I believe that too. I think that they're talking how there's a lot of pressure on the Penguins. I think there's a lot of pressure on the Flyers. I mean, this is a young team.
Yes.
This is a team that was hot when it mattered, and I think now they've kind of fizzled. And now I think you've got some veteran leadership on the Penguins. You still have some good young guys, and I think that you win 2 straight. Sheloff's has been amazing, and I tell you what, he was up and down during regular season, no doubt about it. He was up and down during regular season, and I didn't know if this was a good idea that Dan Muse putting him back in net. I was like, oh boy, this might not be a good idea. It might be you might be better served to stick with the guy who's been to 2 finals. But I really think that it's he's made some really big saves, and I don't know, you've had timely scoring from some of your core guys in these last 2 games. Can they force a game 7 by winning tonight? I think if Sheloff's is elite like he has been, and I think if you score first to avoid chasing the game, and you maintain your discipline and your intensity, I think they can win this game tonight. I don't know. What do you guys say? Trace, let me start with you.
I saw a different look in their eye in this last game than they had in the previous games. And my favorite play of the whole thing was when Gino was called out by Rick Tocchet for being too mean when he rifled a puck into their basically where everybody's sitting and told them, like, we are not afraid of you guys. I thought that was a turning point. I thought that was a statement. I don't like how Gino gets too many penalties, and I think he goes off the hinge a little bit too often, but I like how they're turning around, and instead of getting beat up like they did in the first couple of games, I think they started to turn this momentum around on them, and I hope to look for more of that tonight. What do you think, Mac?
Well, I'll start by first saying I'm shocked that they're back in. I think they were dominated completely in the first 3 games. I don't think there's any possible way that the way they played outside of the goaltending, which we can get on here in a second, and I'm going to. All right. I think Skinner played phenomenal. Okay. In the 3 games, he did leave up 2 soft ones on the 1. However, they are back in the game. The starting of Siloff's, it is what it is. You guys all know how I feel about him. In terms of him being elite, Bill, I don't know where you got that from, but I'll give you he plays.
Well, no,
well.
he's played elite. He played elite, I think, in the last couple games. I think he has.
The only reason I say not elite, I mean, he only faced 35 shots or 40 shots or whatever. It ain't like he's standing on his head over there. I'll give him credit for winning 2 games. He's 2-0. So, I'll eat my hat on that term alone. He's won 2 games, but can they rebound tonight? I don't know. I think Philly played good enough to win games 4 and game 5. I'm scared. I hope that they win tonight, but I don't see it happening. I really don't.
I'm scared too. But I think that if you can really, if you can score first and if you can go up 2-0, I mean, I think Philly, they're going to be kind of just demoralized. Ed, go ahead.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah,
as bad as the coaching was in the first 3 games, he flipped the script. Not only changing goalies, but he also did what the Flyers are doing to the Penguins. He jammed up the neutral zone and is not allowing them, which negates their speed. I think he's told the players to maintain their poise, which they have. No stupid penalties. And I think he's complete. I think Philly is under the most pressure tonight because if the Penguins win, there's no shot for Philly game 7. Just
Game 7, I know.
no
That's what I
shot.
said too. I agree
None.
with that. And I think the Penguins have really, they were out physical in the first 2 games. I thought in the third game they increased their physicality a little bit, but they kind of just let it get away from them. I in these last couple games, in games 4 and games 5, they've increased their physical presence and they're dominating the boards. They are dominating the boards. They're winning board battles. Which is what you didn't see early on in the series. You didn't see them winning board battles. They just weren't. And I agree. They're jamming up the neutral zone. When they do cross the Penguins' blue line, it's tough. They can't. Philly's not able to cycle the puck. They were able to cycle the puck, smoothly and tremendously in the first 3 games. They're not able to do that now. It's they're just they
I don't
get
think
into
they took Philly seriously. I think they thought they were going to roll over them, and now they're finally got their head about them. I'd have to say the Penguins are the favorite. I mean,
I think.
So you think they win tonight, Ed?
Like Billy said, if they get up early and they are disciplined on defense, I don't see how because Philly has made no adjustments in 2 games. None.
So I'll take that as a yes.
For me, I was always a flip a coin series anyway. Is Sherlock going to stay? Is he going to play well again? I don't know.
Well, that's the big thing. Yeah. I mean, he's played too good, and Mac, maybe I'm going. Maybe elite was not the right choice of words. He's been good. He's been good these last 2 games.
I'll go so far as say really good, Bill. I'll agree with you. He's played really good. Elite, I'm not going to give Silovs elite ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Mind you, let him rip off 7
in a row. That was
something.
A bad choice of words. That's my bad.
He's been in position. That's the one.
Yeah, he's played pretty good.
At the right position. He's been out.
But he needs to do that tonight. I mean, he needs to do that tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs to do that tonight because, and I think if they do what they've done these last couple games, it's so pivotal. It's so pivotal. I can't tell you how pivotal it is for them to get the first goal.
Whoever gets the first goal is going to.
It's going to win.
Yeah.
It's going to win more than likely.
Well, that and the third line, I'm pretty sure, set the tone for us. I know that Malkin and Crosby are on our first and second line, but I'm pretty sure our third line set the tone in that fourth and fifth game.
Oh, even the fourth line too.
Even the fourth line, yes, sir.
Yeah, and so that's just been, they're getting the bottom lines. They're getting production from those guys, and it's just, like I said, after losing the first 3 games. You scored first in both games 4 and 5, which really shifted the pressure onto the Flyers. It really did. When you're able to go up 2-0 on them, that was just, it was demoralizing for them. It was, and I knew they were going to win last Saturday. I knew they were going to win. I'm like, I knew they were going to win. I knew they were going to win. I had a good feeling about them winning Monday too. I think. A lot of people said the emotional discipline too. They've adjusted to playing with high energy without taking unnecessary momentum-killing penalties, and that's been another thing that they've done well. I think continuing to score first is critical. It prevents the Flyers from settling in and trapping. If you can get the first goal, even go up 2-0 tonight. They're not going to trap. They're not going to settle. They're not going to trap. It's going to prevent them from doing that stuff. Right. I just think that they got to do what they've done in games 4 and 5. They got to continue to do that. They got to replicate that for tonight. I don't think it's going to be easy tonight. I don't think it's going to be easy.
God, no.
I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
They're a knockdown, drag them out is what I'm trying to say, not a shootout.
Trace, I don't think your dog recognized you when you had that thing.
He didn't know what to do.
You know what? I'll say this: the fandom in me says that the Pens are going to win. I'm scared of this game. I think it's going to be very hesitant.
I think they're going to win. I think they go to a game 7, and I agree with Ed. I don't think Philly has a snowball's chance in hell of winning game 7. They don't.
That arena the roof will come off that arena in Pittsburgh.
And John's right. This is a young team. John and I talked about this last night after our show. This is a very young team of the Flyers. They're inexperienced.
Yep.
It's tough for young teams to close out at home. I agree. And if they can't close it out at home, there's no hope for them in game 7. There just isn't. The Penguins are going to win that. We're going to be on to the next round.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
this game's going to be more tentative than game one was. It creeped along the entire first period. I think both teams are going to be, for lack of words, very scared to lose the game. And I think that's going to drag for 15, 16, 18 minutes until somebody takes a gamble. And so it's going to be chess. So buckle up, boys. You're going to have to just be patient and watch, because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of craziness going on for this one. I think it's going to be very tentative. Very.
Yeah. I think you could see a 0-0 first period, potentially.
Yeah, very similar to the early games. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I think that you could maybe even see, like, I don't know,
Could
late
be
scoring
wrong,
in the
but that's what I
second.
think.
You know, yeah. He
Says his
said
guy.
Connor Dewar would be the difference. Hopefully, maybe.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
He
Trace.
right for that one shot in there, eh?
Yeah. Trace, who do you got tonight?
I think the Pens will do it. It might be end up like a 4-2 or something like that. But if they do it, I think they're going to end up. They have to control it. They have to like be more physical than Philly. And if not, then I don't know how Philly doesn't win.
Ed.
2-1 Penguins.
Mac.
I'm going to go 2-1 Flyers. I hate to say it, but that realistically is coming out. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm rooting. My fandom's out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1 Penguins. I'm gonna go 3-1 Penguins. I think it's gonna be 2-1. I think Philly pulls their goaltender, and I think we find a way to get an empty netter, and we close it out 3-1. And I think if they can do that, I pick them to win in Game 7. Coming home, I pick them to win in Game 7. All right, what's up with these Buccos?
Middle relief is costing us games. The 3-game schneid right now, and it's really middle relief giving up too many runs in the 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Time for a trade.
All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Lights out buttons.
Seasons later.
I mean, no. I mean, that sums up exactly what I you know.
Well,
it's been tough.
Billy, what do you think of Ozuna there?
I mean, he redeemed himself there for a while, but
He's back.
yeah,
He's back.
right.
Yeah, he's not very good.
Yeah, I mean, he, like I said, he redeemed himself for a while. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Monday night, there was no reason they should have lost that game. No reason they should have lost that game. And you're totally right. I mean, the bullpen has been bad. It's been bad this year. It's been very bad.
I look for Jones to come up and be in that bullpen too to support it. By the way,
say that again.
Jones coming back from Tommy John.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a big help.
But he can't start just too many innings to chew up. But he can go an inning or two here and there to middle relief.
Well, he just started his assignment, his Bradenton assignment today, rehab assignment. So he just started it today.
Yep.
So, I don't know. They've got to win tonight. I think they've got to win tonight.
I think they do. I think it's a big one. You drop 3. I mean, Bubba's got to put a stop and,
right.
get him a W tonight, because you can't. Again, speaking of that young type, you can't lose 4 in a row, 5 in a row. You can't write these off. You just can't.
Not with the other.
Not in that division.
Not in this exactly, right. Mac. Not in this division. This division is so good. I mean, everybody's good in this division. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to, if they have any reservations about making it to the postseason this year, you've got to win series. You cannot afford to get swept. You've got to keep pace with these other central teams, because I tell you what, they're good. It's a very, very good division. Probably one of the better divisions in baseball, really. Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah, and they lost 6 out of their last 10. You can't lose 4 in a row. I mean,
and you can't go under 500 this early. It'll be demoralizing for the team if they go under 500.
Agreed. I mean, with what they've been able to do, even 2 weeks ago, there's been, they were number one, and now they've kind of this 3-game losing streak has really cost them. It's really, and that's against a central team. So it's one thing to lose to get swept by the Rays or the Rangers, interleague play, but it's another thing to be swept by your guys in the central.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
So, but all right, Riverhounds got a big game against Phoenix Rising Saturday night.
Undefeated 6 in a row at home, all competitions.
Yep.
Let's go.
So
we will 3-1. I'll be there. I don't think Billy will be there. We'll see.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight will determine whether I'm there or not tonight. On Saturday. So.
Well, Saturday's first day of turkey here. I'm out. Sorry. And after I'm done turkey hunting, I'm going fishing.
Very deliberate, Trace. That's why
very deliberate. Are we going to get a turkey?
Every year I do.
Awesome.
All right, folks. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week. We'll be talking about maybe a next round of the Penguins are moving on to the next round and previewing that whole thing.
And we'll also
by the way, if they would win Saturday, when would that start probably?
Well, we would probably be home back the following Saturday.
Do you think it'd be a week, Mac?
Not
a week off.
No.
Well, I mean, we're not going to.
That's what I'm saying. It would start Monday or Tuesday. It would probably start Tuesday.
What I'm saying,
you're not going to have the home ice advantage, is what Max saying.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. Thanks.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that series would probably start on Tuesday.
I would say Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'd say a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday kind of gig.
Right. So.
Well, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, and you know what I worry about? Here's what I worry about. I worry that it's going to be the Carolina Hurricanes, and I'm not looking past tonight. Or they still got to win 2 games. I mean, it's
It's okay to peak, Bill. It's okay to peak.
Well, yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, that would be a very tough matchup, and I think that it would be a second round exit. I hate to say it.
By the way, and I heard Madden say this earlier. If they come back from 3-0 and beat the Flyers, this is our 6th Stanley Cup.
Well, I was on Pat Bernard's show, post-game show, Flyer post-game show on Saturday, and I said it like this. The Flyers, the Flyers fans are angry. And you know what? If I didn't win a cup in 51 years, I'd be pretty angry too. I mean, just think 1975, the Vietnam War ended. Saturday Night Live made their debut on NBC. What was gas? Probably 50 cents a gallon. It's been eons since the Flyers have won. It's been eons.
I was 5 years
16.
old. Yeah, 36th and 75.
You were 5, right?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's been they won back-to-backs in the mid 70s. This franchise is not a, they're just, I mean, they came in 67 and they've the same year the Penguins and they've got 2 and the Penguins have 5. So I'd be pissed off too. I'd be angry. I'd be, I would be angry, I mean, like I said, the last time they won a cup was the Vietnam War. It ended the same year. So puts it into perspective. So,
and they really didn't play hockey. They were just bullies, Broad Street bullies. They just fought. I mean, it wasn't
right.
like beautiful hockey.
Right. No, it was like Slapshot,
Yeah.
We're gonna fight, we're minus the strip tease at the end, but we're gonna it's gonna be a dance floor,
Yeah.
So all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We will talk to you next week.
See you later.
Hooah.
Go Pens.